guys, it's a Football Friday. Jay Will is back in the house. It's Keyshawn, Jay Will, and Zubin presented by Progressive Insurance. Key, you fired up or what?
You know this song?
That's a college bar song, man. I got my
USC jacket on.
I'm college-y
You're so Friday today. I love it.
Real
Friday,
college.
Friday.
Yeah. I don't know none of the words. I know, yeah.
You just pour the beer over your head, just shake it.
No
yeah,
pouring.
Are you one of those? Were you one of those in college?
No way. Not a chance.
Sometimes you have those moments.
Not the beer on top of the head. A lot of college bar stuff, but not the beer on top of the head.
All right.
I didn't start drinking till my senior year in college.
Then what happened?
Yeah, well, a lot of stress in my life these days.
Understood.
Indeed. That, what you just heard, was on 710 ESPN in Seattle. So here's the deal, fellas. It's a Football Friday. I was talking to Key right before the show. Great to have Jay back with us as well, fresh off the draft. We'll talk about free agency, which begins at 6 p.m. Eastern time tonight. NBA free agency. A little different this year, but always something that gets the attention of the sports fan. Key told me yesterday you watched every single snap from beginning to end, and the best way I can put it is Russell Wilson made plays, but he didn't have to make every play. Man. And Seattle's defense, which we have been waiting for a long time, stepped up. Game-winning sack, game-clinching sack by a guy they picked up.
I didn't know Seattle's defense was actually a term. I guess
Indeed. We finally used him in the same sentence. A guy they picked up just 16 days ago, Carlos Dunlap, coming up with the third sack of the night, second for him to stall an Arizona drive. They had gotten all the way down there to the 27-yard line with about 38 ticks to go. Murray goes down goes Arizona.
What I want to do is I want to educate not only the fan base that listens to us or watch us on television, I also want to educate you too. There's something called don't ever count people out. When you get Bill Belichick's, Mike Tomlin's, Pete Carroll's, Sean Payton's, Andy Reid's, when you start talking about them, don't count them out because they know what they're doing. We're not talking about Adam Gase here. This is not one of those situations. You know what I'm saying? This is not Matt Nagy. This is Pete Carroll. What did he do to get his job as the first-time head coach for the New York Jets?
Defense.
It's defense. He's not going. You think he's going to forget that overnight? It may take a while to rebuild something, but between Ken Norton, who played defense, that went to Super Bowls and won, and Pete Carroll, they know how to create a defense. They went out and got two guys in Jamal Adams, who had a big night, not necessarily a statistical night, but a night of being around, being noticed, in the mix. And then Carlos Dunlap, 2 sacks on the night. He did his job. He did exactly what they thought he would do when they went out and acquired him from the Cincinnati Bengals. And I think people get lost in, their defense is so bad. Look what the Buffalo Bills did to them. They got shredded. This team just chill. Kansas City's defense was not great last year. Toward the end of the season, they became one of the better defenses in the National Football League. And I think over time, Seattle's defense will get better. Everyone keeps holding the standard to the Legion of Boom because the Legion of Boom is the reason that they got to 2 Super Bowls. It has shifted since then. It shifted to a heavy pass run oriented offense until they started to get a running game going like they did last night. Now, every time I look up, it seemed like they was putting a different running back in, and it may have not been the case, but I saw Carlos Hyde. I saw Bo Scarborough. I'm like, where did Bo? I
haven't seen Bo since Alabama.
Yeah, I haven't seen Bo since Alabama. Where did he come from? And then all of a sudden you think about Kason didn't play. Rashad Penny, the guy they drafted out of San Diego State towards ACL a year or so ago, he'll be coming back. So you start to get playmakers and players back. Plus, when you go back and you look at the first victory against Arizona had against Seattle, it wasn't like Arizona. They won in overtime. So whatever little mistakes that Seattle made to lose that football game, they're going to correct those mistakes. And they did it, and you saw the results last night.
I mean, Mighty Mouse threw some incredible passes when you think about it. I mean,
he has some big boy throws.
He has dimes. And when you think about Kyler Murray, obviously him getting out of the pocket and creating all those rushing yards, Key, throughout the course of a game, like that's a differentiator, especially considering, the way they run the ball, being one of the best run offenses there is in the league. But last night, Murray rushed 5 times for 15 yards. So the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde defensively for Seattle, watching that game and watching the way they played last game, which they played better defensively, if they keep trending in this direction, is this a Super Bowl team? Is this a team that can win the Super Bowl if their defense plays the best it can be with having Mr. Unlimited on their team as well, not turning the ball over?
No, absolutely, they are a contending Super Bowl team. They've been that way, along with Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Seattle, the Rams. Those are the kind of teams that's kind of hovering around. Arizona's not a Super Bowl contender. They just not. And I understand the people in the Red Sea out in Arizona, they're going to attack me on Twitter and all the other stuff. I get it. I understand. Shut up, Keyshawn. You don't know what you're talking about. It's not a Super Bowl team. They're a good team that can win a few games, and that's what they are. They are that. And I think when you look at it.
Are they the Houston Rockets of the NFL? Like a style, I'm just saying, different style,
I'm trying to think
entertaining to watch, very fun, but it doesn't get you there ultimately. Is that what Cliff Kingsbury is?
Probably so.
Yeah,
they're gonna put up the numbers. They're certainly gonna put up big numbers statistically. That's what the air raid offense. That's just what they do. They're running the ball much better. They were dead last 2 years ago. They were 10th a year ago. Now they're number 1 in the league. So they're running the ball better. It's a different type of run. It's the RPO game opposed to a traditional running game with a one-back set or a fullback in front of them or a tight end in front of them. It's different. But to your point, though, Jay, they bottled up Kyler Murray. They kind of kept him in the pocket to a degree when he wanted to throw the football. Now, he dropped some dimes a couple times with people in his face. I don't know how the hell he did it. That's the magical part of who he is, so that makes you like him, because it's like he got hit. He got sacked one time by Bobby Wagner coming through the gut. He got hit, not sacked, but he delivered the football to the tight end. I'm like, damn, how did he do that? But he knew where to throw the ball to. The tight end ran underneath it, got him down to the goal line. They punch it in, they score, and that's what it was. But he couldn't do it on a consistent basis because they bottled him up.
Key, I was going to say real quick, one of the things you've always said about Kyler Murray is just, all right, wait until he gets hit. I saw him get hit last night, and it wasn't pretty when he took a hit, a really big hit, right? And you saw, obviously, the shoulder was somewhat injured throughout the course of the game. I feel like he played with it, still play with it. But I guess, when he starts to get into a quarterback that way. Like,
here's what I'm going to ask you, Slug. RG3, what did everybody say about him? Oh, he's great. Oh, wait till somebody get a hold of him.
Yeah.
Cam Newton, oh, he runs around. Wait till somebody get a hold of him. Lamar Jackson, oh, he runs around. Wait till somebody get all of them are in that same kind of mold that can do dynamic things with their legs. But when them defenders get a hold of you, it's not pretty. Especially when you are not used to getting hit. Them dudes are really big, Zubin. Carlos Dunlap is really large. Bobby Wagner is not a little bitty guy. KJ Wright is not small. All right, Rasheem Green is not the defensive end, defensive tackle. He's not small.
Oh,
Jamal Adams is not a little bitty guy.
Carlos Dunlap, 6'6", 280 pounds.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Oh my, what?
That doesn't. I don't want to be hit. I don't want to be hit by that.
Oh,
that's a freight train going up against a bug. You know what a bug is? A little car,
right?
And then that's a huge freight train coming at you at full speed, untouched. You just don't want it. So Kyler Murray stayed in tough. He battled through it, but you can certainly tell that his shoulder was bothering him. Now, whether it's a lingering injury that carries him into the New England Patriot game in the cold with a button that Bill Belichick can press to bring down the snow and the rain, I'm just saying, though, Z.
It could be magically appearing. You never know. All right, a couple of things real quick. Future bodes really well. The immediate future bodes really well for Seattle. Right now, they're 7-3. I just took a look at their schedule. Their next 4 opponents have a grand total of 8 wins. 8, 28, and 1.
Or I could go like this, whichever one looks better to you.
Is that 2 Tom Brady's?
That's 2 Tom Brady's. 4 fingers up in the air. 8, 28, and 1. They're basically taking on a combination of the AFC
the Eagles, the Giants, the Jets, and Washington.
8 wins for their next 4
You see what I'm saying,
opponents.
though? Yep. Now they going to put themselves in contention to have a first-round bye.
Yep.
Jeez.
That would obviously get them the top seed. Last word, I would tell you the biggest difference between the first Arizona game in Seattle and this one last night. Clearly, Murray wasn't touched in the first game. Last night, sacked 3 times, hit 7 times. And as Key said, and as Bart said yesterday, Bart Scott, the 11-year vet who was with us yesterday.
Thick neck.
Yep. when Kyler gets hit, they are going to make him feel it. Be a part of the Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin Nation on the Dr. Pepper Twitter feed this morning. We're simply asking you, who's the best team in the NFC West right now? Record-wise, it would be Seattle, but you could obviously have the Rams there lurking this weekend with a huge game on Monday Night Football on ESPN against the Bucs.
The Jameis Winston-led New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, they're in the South. This is just a West question.
Oh, West.
Today. Just a
Okay.
West question today. ESPN Nation presented by Dr. Pepper. It's official. College football is back, so is your favorite Dr. Pepper-loving college football town, Fansville. Head to a store near you to treat your